Hello there, a very good afternoon and welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. I am Brian Tumwine Biaruhanga. We are starting over from Parliament. Parliament has today started an orientation process of members of the new August House. Now, the Clerk to Parliament, that is Adolf Mesige, has taken MPs through how members on the appointment committees are selected. He said MPs can find the committees and their functions listed in the rules of procedure, and this will help them now know where they fall as per their qualification and interest. Let's take a look at how it happened.
Parliament of Uganda worked through committees. Before 1996, the Parliament as an institution did not have the committee system. But the committee system was introduced following the 1995 Constitution to make Parliament more efficient in its functions. So you realize that most of the work of Parliament is processed through committees of Parliament. Committees of Parliament go in detail, analyze legislation, they analyze oversight reports, they analyze Auditor General's reports, and after thorough analysis, they report to the plenary. And the plenary, of course, considers and adopts the recommendations of committees. We have three types of committees in Parliament. Basically, we have sectoral committees, which begin and end with a session. All membership to those committees is designated by party whips, except for the independents, and I think you can, for the independents who are here, and our records show that we have 68 independent members of Parliament. The independents cannot be designated through party whips because they don't belong to any party, technically. They may have memorandum of understanding with particular parties, but technically speaking, those parties cannot designate you to membership of any committee. Therefore, the procedure is that if you are an independent and you wish to serve on a particular committee, and I think forms must have been distributed for you to fill, you apply, you make an application to the office of the clerk expressing your interest as an independent to serve on a particular committee.
In this overview you have presented to us, I have seen emphasis on governance, which is good, administration, which is good. What about history? The history of this Parliament. What about development and modernization of this Parliament? Lastly on this, you have indicated that you are going to take us for a guided tour of the precincts of Parliament. And in my observant eyes, as you take us there, we are going to see some activities within the precincts of Parliament. Some constructions taking place. There is a fence being constructed. There's also another building I can see on the other side. Even you can see that crane there. Do these things qualify to fall within the overview of Parliament?
Members of Parliament, therefore, you being oriented by the Clerk to Parliament. Now let's cross over to Robert Mao. Now, the DP President, the DP President, also outgoing Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Robert Mao, has congratulated the new Speaker, Jacob Oboth, for his victory in yesterday's race. Mao, who also was among the contenders in the race, has asked the new leadership at Parliament to avoid the replica of their predecessors' actions. Let's take a look.
We want to ask the new leadership, in addition, to protect the rights and privileges, particularly the freedom of speech of the members of parliament. The members of parliament are protected by law, and as they perform their duties, they need that freedom. In the 11th parliament, members of parliament were interrupted like in no other parliament that I know. You'll be shocked that if you went to the Hansard, you'll find that the presiding officer spoke more than the members of parliament. Yet speakers are not supposed to speak, in the same way that a referee does not kick the ball. But we had presiding officers who had a comment on every speech, that the commission should have somebody who is not a member of parliament to sit in the commission, so that we have a hybrid process. For too long we have played the ostrich game, burying our heads in the sand, while parliament collapses under the weight of an intimidated civil service in the parliament. If you quietly interview the civil servants in the parliament, they'll tell you that now they can breathe. Only an inquiry will be able to establish who got jobs wrongly without being qualified, while those who are qualified are being bypassed. Those who are not qualified are being promoted. The patronage system was set in place. I'm told many influential people got their children to get jobs in parliament in exchange for their loyalty. That it includes ministers, judges, all sorts of people. So, we call upon the new leadership of parliament to exercise vigilance so that we get to the root of the rot in parliament.
Norbert Mao there for you. Now let's head to Makindye. Government has launched the construction of Kalidubi Channel to curb the challenge of floods that cross through Kampala Metropolitan whenever there comes a heavy downpour. According to the leadership in Makindye Sabagabo, where the channel construction works will begin, this is a big step in the curbing flooding in the Kampala Metropolitan. Let's take a look.
UBC TV, and I want to thank you for joining us today to mark an historic occasion when we are launching the construction of Kalidubi Drainage Channel, which actually traverses the entire Greater Kampala. But of course, it has been a disaster. We have had so many floods. So as part of the Greater Kampala program development, one of the priority areas is to improve Kalidubi Drainage Channel crossing over the Entebbe Road. And this channel is intended first to restore the dignity of this area by ensuring that the environment is improved, and when we improve on the environment, we shall be able to deal with the associated diseases. But what is very important is to applaud the support that we have got from government. Today we are here to launch a project of the construction of 37 billion shillings, 37.8 billion. But also we have consultants that are going to oversee the implementation, the civil work, which we have also been able to contract to ensure the quality. The project is accomplished within its time. We intend to do this work within 18 months. But with the support that we have got and the kind of contractor that we have got, China 10, we expect to do it within 10 or 15 months. Now, my call. One, we are going to use the whole of government approach. You remember when we were about to do the swearing of the President Kololo, we spent a whole day, 1 week, cleaning Entebbe Road. So we want to bring the Ministry of Works, NEMA, Ministry Kampala, KCCA, and work together to ensure that Entebbe Road, which is a route heading to the sitting room of the capital city of Uganda, is actually, its dignity, the beauty, the greening and beautification, the ecological system. People around here should not witness any more floods. Today marks the end of the floods in this area. Very embarrassing. Our floods in the middle of the city. Much the Samagabu saw it as a need to improve. As we focus the new term of government, we also want to ensure that the people, the welfare of the people, the environment, the livelihoods of the people are actually paid. So I want to thank the people. I want to thank the government of Uganda. I want to thank the World Bank and the community around for continuously expressing the need that the government will work on this road, which answers have been provided. So I want to thank you, the social...
Kali Dubi channel there for you. Now let's cross over to northern Uganda. A Ministry of Education and Sports has cautioned inspectors in schools in northern Uganda on poor performance of the Teller system in Term 1 2026. According to the Teller report, a system used by the Ministry of Education in line with the sector, northern Uganda recorded a poor performance across all local governments for the first term 2026 in the secondary schools in Lango region, ranked last with 7%. During the inspection training, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Kedrans Tuliagenda, argued inspectors to promote awareness of the Teller system. Let's take a look.
We have the Teacher Effectiveness and Learner Achievement ICT gadget. Every public school, primary or secondary or certificate offering, they got that phone, and so the head teachers have no excuse for checking that the teachers are at school and the teachers are teaching. If every child attends every lesson that is well prepared and taught and assessed, and these children are assisted, for sure, even no child would fall out because they would be enjoying being at school. And so we are now making it very clear that every local government will be held accountable for children who study up to P7, they register but they don't sit exams, because those are the children who come under what they call X according to the UNEB grading. So I've said it to them again that this should not happen in their schools. Some other children do sit exams, but they don't pass well enough to demonstrate to anyone that they have a certificate of P7, the PLE certificate. Again, that's really carelessness of the teachers and the schools. So I have now put it to them clearly that they should go back. They will still have 1.5 terms because the third term has exams, final exams as well. Help cause schools to identify those children who are struggling, find a system of providing remedial. This should not be paid for. It's part of our expectation as teachers in our teachers' code of conduct.
So I think it is a very good move by government to try to use Teller to pay salaries, so that teachers are compelled, and we are not going to have problems of pushing them to use the machine, because it will be a self-drive. Because if you have not used it, if your information is not captured, then you are not paid salary. I think that is a very good move by government.
Payments will be attached on the Teller performance. This makes me to project the warning that as a leader city, we should embrace this strategy, and we shouldn't be victims of this circumstance. And I know you have heard from today, and you will really change the way you have been doing business, not to be as usual.
Not as usual indeed. Now let's cross over to Arua. Rose Chandru, a 52 22-year-old resident of Ariadrari village in Arua district has been illegally evicted from her ancestral land. Her illegal eviction comes after controversies in land scale, where the current buyer, identified as Daniel Asikia Aguyo, fenced off the tombs of the relatives of Chadiru, where she has been housed herself.
Mani Goria, Macha Windiria, Manvi Basi Mujuruani, Kini Juruani Mafaki Bamve, Ozoni Mumafa Choyo. Afaradisa wa Mudriniri. Ayama Sidi of Abudabo to the Amacha Sawalo. Mecha Kuda Mesu Afaki Anve. Lingua policia, bada pinimeda yode explaining, bada yokimani kinikuo yode ichone iseko. Mama mu LC1 vo, dia basimo LC1 kini area ichone di yode seko. Bomve ta ira witnessero, bomve manvi, bomve jirani kai ibe, banita mafeki ofuria. Sari si dani ni, yonje boda kitro, imo koyo. Ichone fiyo de mali dikaku didi elsi manzeta alete gamata ma koki dimaza igata idrisi madimani di asasi mungwa ma parezi muzuyo mavu sende renti ni yo mavu sende jozi sizu sasi rani yo.
I came personally to see what was happening. My chairperson elder was standing in his area. It was way back in 2016 when this lady called Agnes came and bought land in this family. When Agnes got Daniel to transfer this land, to make a transfer, it got me now in the system. But before the transfer, the family had agreed that they are going to refund what? Agnes' money, of which it has not been effected.
That land has been bought more than 10, 15 years back. This stubborn woman decided to remain there after 4 times the formal information from notice from LC1. Please vacate this place. I personally went on ground. I said, please vacate this place. I might start any project in this place. And that was not enough for her. Her intention was very weird, that she decided intentionally to remain. Then the second is using the government structure through the one, the elders. I told you I used that. It was the only procedure, my brother, I used.
Touching developments there for us. Now, UBC Lunchtime News takes a very short break, and we shall do return with business.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira mulimu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono tu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. Huh? For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later. Huh?
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
In a fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UG Pass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UG Pass, your identity secured. Available in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UG Pass is a product of Nita Uganda.
Welcome home. It is small, but it is something. Everyone starts from somewhere.
Welcome home.
The problem is the foundation.
You know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
Muzaffaru, the day I decide to build, in fact, I will import the foundation into the country. By the way, your security lights, they are very small. Me, when I build my house, I will put the motion sensor.
As you can see, the living room, I managed to bring in some tiles.
And I told you, when I build my house, I get tiles from Italy, Rome, bring them here, original. This nonsense of having one TV. Me!
Some people talk about building houses. Others build them. Do you have land?
I am working on it.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
Yes. It hasn't been easy at all.
No.
But with your buy, chiba chibwa.
So you buy, your buy.
Oh, chinabi chibwa.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. UBC Lunchtime News continues with business. Gold exports have hit record heights in recent years, with Uganda earning over $6 billion annually from the mineral trade. But like many fast-growing sectors, the industry is facing mounting concerns over rampant gold scams that continue to taint the country's image internationally. In an exclusive interview, our reporter Maureen Babidie speaks to Bernard Feni, the director of Eurogold, on the state of Uganda's gold trade, persistent fraud allegations, and possible solutions to restore investor confidence. Let's take a look.
Uganda is increasingly positioning itself as a major player in Africa's gold trade, with vast mineral deposits spread across different parts of the country. Unlike in the past, when most of Uganda's gold was exported in raw form, government is now pushing for value addition through refining before export.
Donating our money to the outsiders. Yes. So this is what we need to resolve. How can Africa get out of poverty with such squandering of resources? You are getting less money.
Gold has now officially overtaken coffee as Uganda's leading export commodity and top source of foreign exchange earnings. Gold export receipts are estimated at between $6 billion and $7.4 billion, underlining the sector's growing importance to the economy. However, despite the booming figures, the sector continues to face credibility challenges arising from widespread allegations of gold scams targeting foreign investors. According to Bernard Feni, Executive Director, Eurogold Refinery, many fraudulent operations are often wrongly associated with legitimate licensed dealers, yet he argues that criminal networks operating outside the formal system are largely to blame.
If you go to police now, I'm on camera, you ask, from 100 people, how many of these complainants who are investors got gold in cash? They will never reach 10%. The 90% will say, I paid for transport, I paid for logistics, I paid for insurance, I paid this, and even if you ask them, so how many kilograms did you buy out of 10 kilograms in cash? It will be none.
Feni says, restoring Uganda's image will require stricter enforcement, tighter regulation of dealers and brokers, enhanced investor verification mechanisms, and stronger collaboration between government agencies and legitimate players in the industry.
Meaning there has to be a clear directive to the foreigners out there or investors that if you're coming to Uganda, you want to buy gold, this is where you go.
Right.
Gold is bought here or there or there. They must know. 2, they must also have clear conditions under which they should come to operate in Uganda if they're coming in for trade. We have the Ministry for Trade, we have Investors Board, not so. Anyone found trading in gold with on tourist visa should not be listened to. In fact, must be persecuted.
Uganda remains one of the most resource-endowed countries in the region and is steadily emerging as one of Africa's leading gold exporters. However, sector players say safeguarding credibility and investor trust will be critical for the industry's long-term sustainability. That was the Executive Director Eurogold, Bernard Feni, explaining to us the developments and challenges within the gold sector in Uganda. And to be quite honest, it's a bit messy. But the government has since taken corrective and regulatory steps like purity rules, digital traceability, and many more to fill industry gaps and also deal with informal sector realities. But as you've heard from the gentleman, a lot more can still be done to protect sector players locally and internationally. And with that growth comes a shared responsibility to protect systems. Maureen Babidie for UBC.
Thank you so much, Babidie, there for us. Now, MTN Uganda has officially launched the second phase of its Advancing Women Entrepreneurs program aimed at empowering women-owned businesses to become corporate-ready, scalable, and investment-ready enterprises. Let's take a look.
Known as AWE 2.0 the initiative known as AWE 2.0 builds on the success of the first phase launched in 2023 under the theme She Means Business. According to MTN Uganda Chief Executive Officer Sylvia Mulinge, the program is designed to provide women entrepreneurs with access to skills, markets, technology and financing opportunities necessary for sustainable business growth.
When I see all the women who are stood here, I'm not just seeing women. I'm seeing businesses. I'm seeing businesses that are employing people. I'm seeing lives that are being raised. And I know that when you raise a woman, you just don't raise her, you raise the community that is all around her. And that is part, Sharon, of our contribution to the 10X agenda of this country.
Since its inception, more than 100 women-owned businesses have secured contracts worth over 62 billion shillings from MTN Uganda's supply chain. Participation of women-owned enterprises within the MTN ecosystem has also grown significantly from 0.3% to 15%.
When we began this Advancing Women Entrepreneurs program in October 2023, our ambition was clear. There was a very visible supplier inclusion gap, and we wanted to equip women-led businesses with access, capability, and opportunity. And when we actually went and looked at the statistics, it was very clear that yes, we had women in the ecosystem, yes, we had women who were doing businesses with us, but they were in all the categories where the majority of our spend was not. We are a technology company. So if we are a technology company, it means that the majority of our money is spent on things that have to do with technology.
The enhanced incubator program will focus on corporate supply readiness, digital adoption, financial management, ESG compliance, and investor readiness.
First of all, you even have to overcome their mindsets. Many women thought, how do I get involved in the business of pulling cable, setting up sites, going to a place and providing solar panels. It was not, they thought that is work that is only done by men. So how do we equip them? And then once we equip them, from a business perspective, unlock their mindsets, the next thing was then to ask them, how do we provide the opportunity?
Implemented in partnership with organizations including DFCU Bank Women in Business, Innovation Village and MTN Mobile Money, the program also features mentorship sessions, accelerator trainings, investor pitch events, and supplier development activities throughout 2026. MTN says that the initiative is part of its broader commitment to inclusive economic growth and digital empowerment in Uganda.
Now let's talk sports. The National Council of Sports General Secretary, that is Dr. Bernard Patrick Ogwell, has updated on the remedial compliance period for the national sports organizations under the National Sports Act Cap 151 and the National Sports Regulations of 2025. By this notice, several sports organizations heightened by the Uganda Boxing Federation, Cricket Uganda and the Uganda Table Tennis Association risk revocation of their certificates of registration if they don't fulfill requirements in the stipulated time. John Barnes Sentamo brings us to speed.
So informed you on the implication of failure of federations who will not comply. And there are two basic outcomes I mentioned: automatic rejection of the application, and then two, revocation of the certificate, which will collapse on the due date of 7, unless renewed by the board. If the board extends for one reason or the other, which may be a case-on-case, case-by-case situation, because I have seen the federations who want more time, they have written, and we have replied back that that decision is the board. If boxing federation fail to meet the deadline, they will collapse and remain a sport discipline, but not registered and recognized by National Council of Sports. And therefore, as government would refer to all of them as promoters of boxing. Even by the time you apply, you will be a promoter. Now, we shall look at the nitty-gritty of the compliance areas that is in the law and regulations that you would have addressed. And if we see that you have complied with all, then you will be issued with the license and you become a fully paid, recognized license national sports organization. Government has been providing money. And in the next press brief I'm going to go 5 years of government support in their detail. And the reason why I'm giving 5 years, I wanted you to have a reflection on what kind of activity was being taken or was taking place in those disciplines or federations and associations. Because many of them keep on saying about money. But when I sum up the money which I've given to one federation in the last 5 financial years, if you are a serious planner, you would have actually improved on your coverage.
Good to have you there. Now that story brings us to the very end of UBC Lunchtime News. More of these stories will be coming your way later on at 8 p.m. and also at 10 p.m. Thank you very much for being part of UBC Lunchtime News. I am Brian Tumwine Byaruhanga. Goodbye and God bless Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained.